Hello everyone. So, in this video I'll try to explain my process to mount watercolor paper to board. It's not a big secret. There are many tutorials around the internet on how to do this, but I'll try to show you my process step by step and explain the reasoning behind my preference. I will start this by going through the materials needed and then to the process of mounting the paper. You can use any watercolor paper for this, really. The only point that I would recommend paying attention to is that the paper needs to be 300 grams in weight or more, so the glue you're going to use doesn't affect the surface. You can use hot pressed, cold pressed of any brand, just make sure it's over 300 grams. Now, the paper that I normally use, and this is a matter of preference, is the Fabriano Artistico 300 grams hot pressed. Like any other hot pressed paper, it's good for detailed painting. There are other paper mills that also have good hot pressed paper, like Arches and Canson, but Fabriano is still my favorite. So, the board. For this, I use MDF, but this process also works with the birch wood panels that you find at art stores. The one surface that I wouldn't recommend using is masonite, because it tends to warp with time. There are two options for the binder or glue. One is the PVA adhesive and the other is the soft gel gloss medium by Golden. Now, there is a real difference here. The PVA adhesive works, but it's weaker than the medium and harder to apply. However, it's cheaper. With that said, the medium is the best choice. It's really strong. Just make sure that the medium is actually the soft gel gloss medium by Golden. If you use matte, heavy gel or any other brand, it will work but not as good. I start the process by mixing the medium with some water. This will make it easier to use the brush and also avoid bumps when we put the paper on top of the board. Now I will apply it to the board using an old brush. Please don't use any kind of expensive brush when doing this. The acrylic medium absolutely destroys them. Here I'm trying to spread the medium evenly and also paying attention to the corners. Now it's time to place the paper. Obviously the paper needs to be a little larger than the board. After I align the paper, I use a roller to apply some light pressure and spread the medium under the paper, moving from the center to the border. After I'm done with the roller, I will pick another piece of MDF board, slightly larger than the one below the paper, so I can place it on top to serve as a support for the weight. On the next morning, after removing the weight, I can proceed to cut the excess of the paper. Normally, I do one rough cut and later a refined one. I also remove the excess of acrylic medium that went to the borders. After that's done, I sand the border just a bit, and then I proceed to use a bone folder to make the border of the paper more compact. And this is it, I guess. We have watercolor paper mounted on a board. If you have any questions, please write it down in the post and I'll try to answer it as soon as possible. Thank you.